Welcome, you lovely people. Thank you for choosing our video presentations. My name is Yoon and I have my friend Jiao with me. We will walk you through our case study on sustainability concept. And please watch until the end because we have a little extra editing for you. Hope you will enjoy it. Now, let's get into it. We have a table of content consists of 5 main parts: abstract, mythology, outlines of main features, main conclusions, and finally, our team's recommendations. Our case study is from Kalibendo Plantations, located in the highlands of Banyuwangi district of Indonesia. The place has cool climates and very good soil for growing rubbers, coffee, and grapes. In fact, they are known for producing one of the most delicious Robusta coffee in the world. And for these reasons, they are very suitable for agrotourism because tourists are interested in the educational value from the harvesting time. Besides, this area also has rich natural resources. That is why tourism access is quite dominant to nature, and it is recommended to develop ecotourism strategy. For tourism overview, as for right now, this area has what we call tourism seasonality, meaning there is an uneven distribution of tourists throughout the year. And this is due to the lack of management, tourism products, and product promotions, and finally the involvement of local people. Like any other case study, our case study has 4 main stakeholders. Firstly, visitors, with non-domestic at 43% and domestic ones are quite dominant at 57%. Secondly, local government. Thirdly, organizer of tourism object, and finally, the host community. In this case study, the author's intentions is quite clear. Firstly, they want to determine the visitor perceptions, and from that, they could arrange strategy for ecotourism development. Now let's move on to Jiao.
Hi, my name is Joe and I walk you through the methodology of this case study. As you mentioned in the previous slide, the author wants to determine tourist perception when visiting Kalibendo, right? So in order to do that, they use 2 methods to collect tourist insight. For primary data, they collect the information of 30 respondents using questionnaire, survey, and observation, while secondary data were collected through the review of literature. And after gaining enough necessary information, the author used scoring, descriptive, and SWOT analysis to analyze the data. And here's the result. Based on primary data, the author found that there are 7 components that affect tourist satisfaction when visiting Kalibendo. Overall, the tourists are quite satisfied but still need some improvement to enhance their satisfaction in the future. Furthermore, the authors also come up with SWOT analysis based on secondary data combining with field observation, and I'm not going into detail of the table because you guys might feel overwhelmed with so much information, and I will mention some highlighting points in the recommendation part later. From the assessment 1, we already knew that sustainable tourism development must assure that 3 pillars of the triple bottom line concept are satisfied for long-term development. So we believe that the authors of this case study have combined the triple bottom line concept and SWOT analysis using opportunity and strength to make recommendations for Kalibendo long-term development. Moving on to recommendation part. Firstly, since Kalibendo is still a potential destination, it has fresh air and the willingness of local government. So the recommendation is to enhance the cooperation between public and private sector to increase the quality of tourism objects in Kalibendo. Secondly, because Kalibendo attracts many tourists during holidays and harvesting time, it is suggested that the tourism suppliers must take responsibility in educating the tourists to respect and protect the environment of Kalibendo.
So in the third recommendation, the author focused on the welfare of local community through training and help of public and private sectors as well as NGOs so that the local people could be more involved in tourism activities and earn extra income. Next, they also increase facilities for tourists such as biodiversity like flora and fauna, beautiful landscape, and tourism products such as trekking, camping, and outbound. And before I jump into the last recommendations, I want to mention something. Mostly tourists only visit the famous Aegean crater, but not along with the plantations too. So taking advantage of the good road infrastructure and the location that are near each other, The author recommends to integrate tour package between these two so that there is an increasing number of tourists visiting plantations. From these recommendations, we can see that the author focused strongly on the cooperation between the local community and authorities because they are very vital for the process of developing ecotourism in rural areas. So what were managed successfully in this case study? Firstly, the author cooperate between stakeholders in the process of developing ecotourism strategy. This helped balance the benefits as well as synchronous development between stakeholders. At the same time, they could strengthen the ecotourism concept at Kalibendo Plantations. Furthermore, upgrading tourism value in an eco-friendly way through investing flora and fauna, beautiful landscape, and tourism products such as trekking, outbound, and camping. Lastly, they see the importance in providing educational-based programs for tourists so they could respect the environment and minimize the impact of tourism on the environment.
However, there are still some points we believe the case do not fully cover in this article. We found another case quite relevant to Kalibendo, and that location is Sapa, Vietnam. Sapa used to be an unspoiled rural area just like Kalibendo right now, but due to the rapid development in recent years, many investments are destroying Sapa landscape. So although Sapa is in the development stage, but without proper management, the location will soon reach the capacity threshold. So, what if one day this scenario happened to Kalibendo once the location becomes popular among tourists? Of course, it could be, but we can prevent that if the local government have strict policy for tourism investment, which ensure that those investors will prioritize societal and environmental aspects aside from economic goals. Secondly, we believe that Kalibendo is in the involvement stage because the area just have some basic services to serve the tourists and the location's awareness is still low. For example, when we do the research for the case, it's really hard to find English content compared to other locations like Sapa. So from the perspective of international tourists like us, it do affect our visit intention and make Kalibendo become less attractive to the majority of us. So we suggest that more marketing efforts are needed to put Kalibendo on the map of tourists.
Through Kalibendo case study, organizational managers who are in the same situation could learn a few things for two. Number one, by determining the visitors' perceptions, managers could have a clearer vision on how to develop the ecotourism strategy. For example, Europeans have our environmental standards and are not going to visit dirty places. And from that, managers could enhance the tourist satisfactions and support ecotourism. Number two, private and public sector should make an effort in reinforcing ecotourism through educational value for tourists and the host community. Number three, through the understanding of strengths and opportunities, tourism plans can monetize those potentials. Number four, what managers can do to prioritize environmental before economic growth is to create codes of conduct, such as building environmental awareness and respect within the system and regulatory controls that emphasize ecotourism, such as waste management. Number five, always keep in mind the Russian dolls theory because each level must work in harmony with each other in order to achieve true sustainability. And for Kalibendo's case, the first three levels have the same goal towards ecotourism sustainable development.
On the basis of what happened, we hope the following recommendation could have enhanced the potential sustainable development, so participants in this type of service could consider. Firstly, being inspired by Ms. Nguyễn Thị Khanh Öztürk, and we strongly support the use of natural resources to produce sustainable energy in rural area. Back to Kalibendo case, we think this method is appropriate because Kalibendo is located on highlands, which is resourceful in sun energy. So other regions should consider which natural resources is suitable according to its characteristics. So we believe that if the stakeholders utilize renewable natural resources to produce sustainable energy, this would improve the life quality of local people, especially in terms of electricity efficiency and reduce costs for tourism services in the future. Besides, destinations apply this method are regarded to gain competitive advantages and specific characteristics over others, which help to attract ecologically aware tourists. Secondly, External accreditation is something that tourism participants should really consider if they are serious about ecotourism development. Because being certified by an accreditation body will have to reduce greenwashing problems and conflicts of stakeholders at different levels. Furthermore, accreditation body also have to break down the complexity of sustainability concept, which is easier for all stakeholders to follow ecotourism plans. And lastly, because tourists are motivated to visit a green destination, so the more tourists, the more revenue generated, and that will help the local people feel motivated to try tourism and improve their living standard. However, there are only a few credible accreditation bodies, and one of which is GSCC. But before getting qualified by GSCC, the local government have to choose which program is suitable for the location according to its characteristics. For example, we suggest green destination is for Kalibendo case. And that's all. Thank you for watching until the end of our presentation. If you make it here, please give us a thumbs up.
We hope these presentations provide you with helpful information, and of course, we would love to see more ecotourism destinations popping up everywhere in the future. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.